cause I'm terrific. I'm finessing in that kitchen, dead fisher. Dope yellow color, something like or Indiana Pacers or Reggie Miller. I'm in that bit like a mammoth.
And I say, okay, maybe because it's too early. Then I looked in week 2, and I say, I'm still seeing the same thing or whatnot. And I gotta point it out, man. I think that and some of the commentators, bro, like Richard Sherman, he talked about it in one of the commentators from CBS Sports, and I agree with it because I was thinking the same thing or whatnot. But it's like this: I have to ask this question, man: is we using Travis Hunter the right way? And my biggest thing was this, man. I felt that coming out, Travis Hunter should play mostly. If we're gonna play him two ways, he should play mostly at cornerback and have him playing spot duty at receiver. You get what I'm saying? And because I think that that's an area of concern at cornerback. You get what I'm saying? Um, and Richard Sherman brought up a valid point, right? Because he's somebody that's familiar with both sides of the ball because he have played cornerback and receiver. Obviously not in the NFL, but he said this. He say that, man, playing cornerback, he say it's certain positions on the field that you're like certain players, they do not leave the field. He says quarterback, offensive lineman, your Mike linebacker, and cornerback. He say those positions you never leave off the field because you have to be on the field. You get what I'm saying? It's like, and he was explaining the cornerback position is because you have to be there the whole time guarding the receiver. You get what I'm saying? Because if you put that number 2 cornerback in, that number 3 cornerback, they're going to look for that guy and they're going to pick on him. You get what I'm saying? And also you have to keep your rhythm. He says it's different when you're playing the receiver position. You could take time off receiving position because you could possibly have another number 1 on the field. You get what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying, a solid tight end. Or it could be a run play. So, but he say, man, but when you're playing the cornerback position, it's not the same case. You have to be on the field to have your rhythm, you know what I'm saying, and to be able to defend the receiver. And he say that's why he feel that, and I felt the same way. Travis Hunter should play mostly at cornerback and come in and play spot duty at receiver. This was the same thing Prime did. You get what I'm saying? And plus you won't, because he's playing like, I want to say he's playing maybe like 40 snaps on offense and a few on defense. You know what I'm saying? You won't, your star player, the dude that you trade up to be able to at least master one of these positions. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If not both. But you want him to at least be able to master one of these positions while he's on the field. You get what I'm saying? You didn't trade up, you know what I'm saying, to draft a generation talent for him to be mediocre on both sides of the field. You get what I'm saying? You want him to be at least at one field. You want him to be elite at both, but at the same time, if he's elite at one side of the field, it was worth trading up for. But if you have him just being mediocre on both sides of the field, it's a wasted pick.
I agree, man. I think that's what the concern is for me right now is, what he gonna be good at. Right now, of all the receivers, I think they say Travis Hunter has the fewest reception yards with the amount of catches he got. So a lot of people like, oh, he ain't making no impact. I disagree. I feel like he can make a bigger impact if he does what everybody say. He focus on one side of the ball. I think we all agree that he can be on the defensive side and make a real big impact on this defense and solidify the secondary a little bit more. But again, man, he wants to play wide receiver. It seems like that's the position that he really wants to play. And I don't think you right now at this point we gotta just trust the process, man. Still 2 games into the season, and like in his press conference, he said he feel good. So maybe throughout the season they'll start trusting him more to be on the field a lot more, playing both sides where he don't come off the field. But he has to get better in the run game, man. and stuff like that, tackling and stuff. Like he did he made some plays on defense Sunday, but is there some stuff like that that on the defensive side that he gonna have to prove? And it seems like he's doing more work on the offensive side because that's his primary position. But defensively, you got to be able to make plays too when you out there, man. And I just think that the kid, man, it's still early. He still got some growing to do. I think he's gonna be fine, but at some point, he's gonna have to start dominating in one of these positions.
I would say this now, far as the talent wise, see, my issue is not with Travis Hunter because I see that the talent is showing, the upside is showing. You get what I'm saying? He's displaying this. You get what I'm saying? But my issue is this: how we are using him. You get what I'm saying? Are we maximizing his potential? You get what I'm saying? So
I think a little bit of that too, Greg. And I don't mean to cut you off. Is the fact that he did get injured. He was kind of banged up during the training camp. And I think right now what the coaching staff is doing, they're trying to ease him into this, man. You know what I'm saying? The NFL season's a long season, man. You get what I'm saying? So I think that right now they gotta, they testing the waters. But I think throughout the season, I think once Travis, he's letting the coaching staff, the medical staff, let them know that he can take a bigger load. I think we'll start seeing the way that we need to use him. He'll be used. Just my opinion. But go ahead with your thought, Greg.
Oh no, that's pretty much, like I say, man, my thing was like really how we've been using him and whatnot. I thought that we would see more of him on defense. And I guess it's because I want to see him more on defense than offense. You get what I'm saying? Right. But at the same time, you got cornerbacks like Jarrian Jones and Tyson Campbell. And these dudes showing that they can play defense. You get what I'm saying? In spite of how many yards Jamar Chase had, they showing that they can play the position and be starters at the position. So we have solidified starters at that position. Are they elite? You know what I'm saying? Could Travis Hunter be better than them? Be determined. But they have shown that they are solid players. Not to mention with Jordan Lewis. You get what I'm saying? In the nickel position. You know what I'm saying? In the slot. So, like I say, man, maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but that's just my thing. I guess because I want to see him at cornerback more. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like he's better at corner, but I guess, we'll see. We see, like you just said, still a lot.